Hi, welcome back to my channel. It is lovely to have you here as always. My name is Grace and I am a writer. Maybe. I have been a writer for almost as long as I can remember, up until very recently, the last few years, where I have really struggled with my writing for several different reasons, but it all comes back to perfectionism, burnout, mental health. I know that I put a lot of pressure on myself for writing to just be the thing in my life that I was meant to be doing. And now I would really like to try and come back to it and maybe learn to love writing again, just through focusing on the enjoyment of it and less so that this is what I should be doing and maybe this can be what I want to be doing again. I knew when I started this channel that I wanted to make some writing related videos as well as book related ones, so I really hope that some of you are still interested in this kind of video. If you are a writer yourself, my hope is that obviously I don't want other people to be feeling this way and this burnt out and stressed about writing, but I would like to create sort of a just warm, cozy space for those of us who have these feelings about our creative work to feel comfortable, and maybe you watching me trying to be as gentle as I can with myself will encourage you to be kinder to yourself in turn. So the plan is just to dip my feet back into things. I'm very out of practice and that scares me a lot because the perfectionism kicks in and I think, oh, what's the point in me doing this if I'm not doing it well? But the goal at the end of the day is to try to enjoy myself with writing again. So we're gonna take baby steps. I've also been having a look at The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. I've heard a lot of good things about this one. It's had a bit of a resurgence in the last couple of years, I think, and a lot of people really rate this for giving them back their creative spark. I've been having a look through the first kind of week of tasks that you're meant to do in here, and it's quite a lot. I didn't realise it was quite as much as it was. There are about 10 different tasks that you're meant to do in the first week. So I think I'm not certain that I can fully commit to this right now. We're gonna start slow and gentle, especially because I have quite a lot of plans coming up in the next few weeks. So I want to fully commit to this at some point, but for now I think I'm just gonna try writing my morning pages every day. This book encourages you to write 3 pages at the start of every single day, which aren't related to writing a creative project specifically, but just kind of word vomiting onto the page, anything that's in your head, and not reading it back, not overthinking it, just getting something on the page and hopefully pushing past whatever block you might have. So I'm gonna try that. I might also attempt to go on a little artist date at some point, which is something they also encourage you to do, to just take 2 hours to do something that will creatively fuel you, like reading something or crafting, or for me I think it might be going on a really nice long walk because I always find that nature really refuels me. So those are the things I'd like to focus on to begin with and just start slow and be patient with myself in this process because the focus is on enjoyment rather than productivity for now. It's really strange to me because up until very, very recently, writing was always just my plan in life. It was kind of a certainty that I would figure out how to make that work for myself. Obviously, it's not a very stable career, but it was always in the back of my head that that is where I would end up eventually. And now I'm starting to let myself think that it doesn't have to be. If I don't end up wanting to write as my main goal in life, then that's not the end of the world. It's scary because then I have to kind of start all over and figure out what else I might want to do with myself. But I want, at the end of the day, if I do end up wanting writing to be my main priority, then I want that to be because I'm actually enjoying it rather than that is the expectation that has been put on me by myself and other people for the last 20 years almost. I want it to really be an active choice of this is what I enjoy doing, this is what I want to spend a lot of my time focusing on. So this is an experiment really, and we'll see how it goes. But today I am heading out for a little kind of writing, reading date with my partner. So it's not technically the morning. If you're an Artist Way purist, please don't come for me. I do plan on doing them in the morning from now on, but today we're just gonna start when we can start, because I don't want to just put it off until tomorrow because I've missed that morning slot. So yeah, we're gonna head out and give it a try, and I will update you in a bit. Hello, it is the next day. I have been doing my 3 morning pages just for 2 days now, so I really don't think I can comment on their effectiveness. But it is interesting how much I'm having to kind of push through them. I definitely feel that urge to be writing something useful or interesting, and I have to remind myself that this is going nowhere. I don't have to read these back, even myself, and it's just for the purpose of unblocking my ability to write again and just to get back into the habit of doing that more often. So I'm hoping that with time that will get easier. I thought it might be useful to kind of go over my writing history just for some context. I have been writing, like many of us who say we're writers, since I was very teeny, very tiny little Grace. I remember writing my first short story when I was about 6. It was about some dinosaurs who took in a lost girl in the woods and made her their fairy princess. So all the important things. And ever since then I've been writing. I think it was a combination of genuinely enjoying it and also being praised for it. I was very much a gifted and talented kid, and I find the effect that that can have on someone so interesting, because obviously you want to praise your kids, or if you're a teacher you want to praise your students if they're doing well, but the way that that can mess with someone's head later down the line is so bizarre. Obviously I'm not complaining about people being nice to me, but it is interesting the way that that has maybe been part of entrenching this kind of perfectionism in my head. But anyway, I wrote through my teens, my childhood. I would write stories and poetry and songs, and then I decided I wanted to go to university to study creative writing, and I really enjoyed that too. It was really nice to have other writers around me, and just the practice, the amount of writing that I had to do in those 3 years. You're gonna get better if you practice that much. And I did really well at uni, but in my 3rd year of uni, a few things happened. Some stuff in my personal life that really hit my mental health, and also COVID hit. So it was a lot at once. And immediately after I graduated, I tried to do NaNoWriMo. I have tried before, but I did sort of a shortened version of it because I was also doing uni work at the same time, and I really enjoyed it that first attempt where I did like 30,000 words, but this time when I tried to go for the full 50, I did manage it, but because of the place that my head was at the time, I did not like them at all. I thought it was all bad and I was a terrible writer, and I just wasn't mentally in the place for it, and that really put me off to the point that I basically stopped writing for a couple of years after that. And obviously it's a few years later now. I've been trying to work through it. I've had therapy, you know, I won't go into too much detail, but I think that there are a lot of problems that a lot of writers share in terms of perfectionism, especially. And I'm trying to reacquaint myself with writing. I have done some writing on and off in the last couple years, but it's felt a lot more forced than it used to, which I think partly is just because I'm so out of practice and I've never experienced being out of practice with writing before, because it was just something I did since I was a child. So it's a very strange process for me, and like I said earlier, I'm trying to figure out if this is actually what I want to do or if it's just what I decided I wanted to do at a young age and maybe it became an expectation for myself rather than something I continued to enjoy. I do hope that I will enjoy it again, because I haven't found anything yet that brings me that feeling of when you're writing something and it just starts to click into place. There's some, I don't know, there's some kind of alchemy to writing for me, or at least there has been in the past, and I've not found that kind of joy and fulfillment in anything else yet. It's nerve-wracking. Only 2 days down in this experiment. I have a free day on Monday, so I think that I might try and take myself on a little artist date. Hopefully go for a little walk if the weather permits. So I will keep you updated on both my morning pages, and if we go on a little nature trip, try and maybe get some kind of creative writing done. We'll see. I'll update you soon. So, in completely unrelated news, I dyed my hair. I have been this colour before and I've thought on and off about re-dyeing it, but if I'm honest, the real reason is it's World Book Day this week and I really wanted to go as Anne from Anne of Green Gables. So here we are. For context, for anyone who doesn't know, I work at a bookstore, so we all kind of dress up for World Book Day. But wait, let me show you my full outfit. Please ignore my drying laundry, we have a very small flat. But I have this kind of old-timey dress that I'm obsessed with, and I'm gonna do my hair in little braids. And wait, let me get my hat. I have this giant boater hat, which is classic Anne, and I thought I might as well put like a little apron over the top. I don't know whether to do like the full apron. I think it's better. Yeah, okay, so I think it's better if I do like the little half apron. There we go. I'm so excited. Anyway, back to your previously scheduled programming. I'm gonna take myself out on a little artist date this afternoon, go on a little walk. I am craving some nature, and I know that that always helps me get into a creative headspace and feel fueled to make something. So I'm gonna bring a notebook with me, and if I feel inspired, maybe I'll write something, but I'm just gonna enjoy some nature this afternoon, so I'll keep you updated. For most of this wintry walk, I found myself wondering what it is about nature that I find so calming and grounding. I haven't always felt this way, but in recent years I found that often when I'm feeling off balance, all I really need is a good walk. Not only is the natural world just so beautiful, but it also makes me feel unfathomably small. I know that for some people that thought is not a comforting one, but for me, I find it relieves some of the unnecessary pressure I put on myself. What need have I to be perfect when there is bracket fungi in the world? Or trailing ivy? Or cherry blossoms silhouetted against the sky? Or just swans hanging out being swans? Not only that, but it's a comforting reminder that I simply cannot be perfect. I could never create something as beautiful as the world around us already is, and to me, that's so freeing. I want to create art, for whether I end up writing or not, deep down I know I'll be a creator of some kind. But I want to create art that evokes that raw awe that I have for the natural world, and reminds others to stop and listen to the wind in the trees every now and then. So that's what this is. Just some thoughts for now, but more to come. Hello, it is Tuesday. Welcome to the end of this little writing vlog. I have done 5 days now of my morning pages, and I went out on my little artist date yesterday, which was really nice actually. It was not the best weather and I'm really looking forward to spring. I'm looking forward to there being a bit more green on the trees, but it was lovely to get out of the city for once. And it just reminded me how much I would love to live somewhere more rural. I would love to be able to walk from my door to trees, ideally. I would probably feel more creatively fueled, I think, if I did live somewhere more rural, just because that is kind of how I refill that well in me. And I find that interesting. I would love to hear if you are creative, if you have a different way of refueling yourself, of finding that inspiration for writing or for whatever it is that you create. I wouldn't say that I've had like a crazy breakthrough during this writing vlog. I think it's very much early days with these morning pages. I am finding them useful. I think I can feel them kind of breaking down some of the barriers that I've put up against writing and against writing badly. I think the point of them, for me at least, is that it forces you to write badly, I guess, because you're just dumping on the page any weird thoughts that you might be having, and the point is not to be writing well, it's just to be writing something. So I'm hoping that if I can get more used to that and just attune myself to it through just habit, then I'll find it easier to write when I actually want to do some creative work. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm a little bit nervous about it because it's different to what I've been making so far, but I would like to make more writing videos in the future, and hopefully some that are a little bit more involved when I actually hopefully feel up to getting into some proper creative projects. I do have a novel idea that I've had for a few years now, and I'm conflicted because part of me understands that jumping straight back into writing a novel probably isn't the right way to get back into writing. I should probably take some baby steps first, maybe do some short stories, things like that. But if I'm honest with myself, the only project that gives me much enthusiasm at the moment is that novel idea. I won't give too many details, but that is for a very nature-inspired fantasy with some Celtic and Old English folklore in there and a bit of a romance. So I do really want to work on that at some point, but maybe I should build up to it. But for now, thank you for being here and for watching and listening to me ramble about writing. I hope you're having the best week, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye bye.